Thanking you.
Mr. Tillet? He's not dead, just very drunk. I would still like to hear what he has to say about Mr. Shoulder. Mr. Tillet? He's not dead, just very drunk. I would still like to hear what he has to say about Mr. Shoulder.
Oh, what the hell were that for?
You passed out, Mr. Tillet.
Oh, sorry, lass. Where were I? Leonard's shoulder. Hold on another minute. I'm making for a piss.
This man is unbelievable. It feels like an hour has passed. Perhaps I should go in there and check on him.
Miss Bateman? My apologies. The ladies are closed due to faulty plumbing. You'll have to use the gents.
Lovely. Mr. Tillet? The mirror is coated in a thick layer of grime. Some excavations are best left to others. The jug is empty. There's no fresh water. It looks like the towel has not been washed in months. It looks like the towel is not... I would rather not get any closer. Mr. Tillet? Mr. Tillet, are you in there? Mr. Tillet, are you in there? Well, you're not Mr. Tillet. I'd rather not touch it. The thing stinks to high heaven. The mangy thing is fast asleep. I can't reach the window. I can see it's still raining out there. I can't reach the window from down here. The water looks highly questionable. I ought to keep my hands out of it. The door opens a crack, but appears to be blocked from the other side. I think I can hear someone moving around. Mr. Tillet? Aurther, are you out there? Judging from the draft coming from below, this door must lead outside. I should investigate further. I can't reach the... The door is blocked.
How can I help you?
Have you seen Aurther Tillet?
I thought he were with you.
He went to the lavatory and has not returned.
That sounds like Aurther Tillet. Don't worry, lass. He'll be back.
There's a door to the outside in the gents' lavatories. Why is it bolted?
That door doesn't even have a lock.
So you didn't block the door?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Thanks for your time.
As you were.
These flowers look pretty. Someone must take good care of them. Excuse me, sir. A pearly white gent's glove. It's certainly unlike anything Mr. Tillet was wearing. Seems rather out of place here. Peculiar. I suspect the barrels are empty. Otherwise the locals will be rolling them into their cellars. Sturdy-looking barrels. The post has been embellished with a fine bronze bust of a horse. I could tether a horse here if I had one. Someone has wedged the door shut. Mr. Tillet. Why would he have done that? Did Mr. Tillet leave, then block the door behind him? Something strange is going on here. Who was that old chap I saw outside the alley? He headed eastward. Maybe I could catch up with him and ask him if he saw Mr. Tillet. Sir? I don't wish to go knocking. A humble local... The old man has disappeared into the darkness. I'd best turn back to the inn.
Last orders.
I should get some sleep. Finding the missing men of Bewlay shall have to wait for tomorrow. There's nothing else I wish to discuss at the moment. Kenneth will be arriving tomorrow at midday. I should get some sleep. A lovely place to warm oneself. The crackling fireplace is more welcoming than the facial expressions of the locals. I don't want to take the painting, a colourful work depicting a bashful knight. It is signed N. Hamley. This painting shows a Rubenesque figure brushing her hair. Quite unusual to see such a sensual work in a room like this. I don't want to take a pixie-faced peasant boy painted in a naive style. Kenneth will be arriving. Yes, I must get some sleep. I shall track down Mr. Shoulder tomorrow.
Miss Bateman?
Yes?
Off to bed?
Yes. I'm afraid Mr. Shoulder's let me down.
The rotter. Perhaps he will make himself known tomorrow.
I should hope so. This is turning into a waste of my time.
Ah, don't mind the locals, miss. It's just that we don't get a lot of visitors in Bewlay.
Quite.
They mean well, believe me.
Sure, Mr. Kemp.
Please, call me Stanley.
Good night, Stanley.
Sleep well, Miss Bateman.
Such horrid dreams. Bolted from the inside, just as I left it last night. As I suspected, I must have dreamt of that wretched-looking cat. I must say I'm relieved. Right then. Let's see if I can track down the elusive Leonard Shoulder. I'm rather anxious to get to this Barrow. I also wonder what happened to Mr. Tillet. The candle has melted. It's not much use anymore. Perhaps Mr. Kemp will replace it this evening. Jammed shut. The wood must have warped over the years. A decrepit set. I've stored my case in there. A box within a box. I don't wish to carry the bowl. I've hung my dress aside from that.
Good morning, Miss Bateman.
Good day, Stanley. It's Mr. Stanley. He has the serious and worn-out facial expression of a man who deals with drunkards on a nightly basis.
Did you sleep well, Miss Bateman?
Not really. I have the rather queer recollection of a cat entering my room last night.
A cat, you say?
Yes, an odd-looking grey one. I must have been dreaming, as I locked the door and windows before I went to sleep. I saw a similar cat in the lavatories while searching for Mr. Tillet.
Ah, Herbert. Oh, he's a harmless thing. He comes in now and then searching for scraps.
Indeed. Seeing him in the lavatories must have conjured up the strange dream.
The mind is capable of manifesting frightful things, Miss Bateman. I'm happy to report the rain of yesterday has lifted. It's a clear morning outside. Crisp. I've prepared a room for your assistant. What time will he be arriving today?
His train will get in around midday. Kenneth will also be bringing my excavation equipment.
Oh, aye? What does that entail?
Picks, shovels, buckets, lighting and such. He usually packs it in a large crate. Come to think of it, I'll need somewhere to store it.
You're welcome to use the alley behind the inn for any such bulky items.
Is it safe to do such a thing?
I can assure you the local folk are not thieves, Miss Bateman.
That's not what I...
Now, say nothing more of it.
Thank you, Stanley.
I'll let you get on with your day.
I'll be back with my assistant when he arrives.
Miss Bateman,
Yes?
I've something I wish to get off my chest, as it were. I've been tossing and turning all night, Miss Bateman. I feel rotten, I really do.
What on earth are you talking about?
As you know, I like to run an honest establishment. And well, I have not been honest with you, lass. I do know of Hob's Barrow.
You do?
I do. Many here do. There are stories tied to that place, you know. If I've learned anything in this life, it's that some stones are best left unturned. Old Leonard's shoulder is someone to be wary of too. I can't tell you what to do, lass, but you'd best avoid him.
Why lie to me about Hob's Barrow?
I know, lass, I know. I feel dreadful.
But why? What are these stories you speak of?
I really can't tell you more. If you insist on visiting that place, you'll have to seek out Mr. Shoulder. He brought you here. He should be the one to tell you.
I must say, Mr. Kemp, this is all quite puzzling. I've never let local superstitions stop me in the past. I pride myself on being a woman of logic and reason. I've no time to waste on such matters.
As I say, seek out Mr. Shoulder. He can tell you more.
Why must I be wary of Mr. Shoulder?
The man has a certain reputation.
For what?
You've seen it already. Were he here to meet you last night?
No.
Precisely. A man not to be trusted.
Where is Hob's Barrow?
I don't know. I say that on my mother's grave, Miss Bateman.
I now find that hard to believe.
The moors are vast, lass. I'd tend not to go wandering out there. A grown man could lose himself and not be seen again.
Where does Mr. Shoulder live?
I can't say for sure. As I think I told you last night, he's a quiet man and keeps to himself. He only comes in here to collect his post. Leads me to believe he lives a fair distance away. Certainly not in the village itself.
Might someone around Bewlay be able to help me find him?
You could ask around. As I say, lass, Bewlay folk mean well. Don't forget that.
I shall return later.
Good day to you, lass.
I must say, last night has rather put me off using these toilets. It seems I may be fighting a battle against some sort of local superstition. Is there a single barrow in England that doesn't have some ghastly tale attached to it? Hogwash. All of it. I've a few hours until Kenneth arrives. I should use this time to find Mr. Shoulder. He looks like a rather shady character. Hello. My name is Thomasina, and you are?
Now then, that's none of your concern, love.
What do you do around here?
Hey up, you're not scared of sticking your neb in. I look after the churchyard. Dig the graves. Ha!
What can you tell me about the church?
Aye, it's a church.
Quite. Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
I don't know aught about no Leonard Shoulder.
What can you tell me about Bewlay?
Not much around here, love. Not worth mentioning to you, like.
I see. What can you tell me about Hob's Barrow?
Not to be found digging around in those things.
You know of local barrows, then?
Don't concern yourself.
Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
The little whelp looks determined to slaughter the very air itself. The young woman looks extremely bored by it all. Good day.
Hello, miss.
My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Betty.
Nice to meet you, Betty. What are you up to?
My brother is practicing his sword-fighting technique. I'm to watch him until he tires himself out.
I'm tireless!
This time last month it were all about his teaspoon collection. This month it's swords.
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
What do you know of Hob's Barrow?
Our parents don't like us talking to strangers, miss.
So you know of it?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye, miss.
Hello?
Yes?
My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Douglas?
It's a pleasure to meet you, Douglas. That's a great sword technique you have.
Thanks, miss. Mr. Crozier's gonna make me a real one when I turn 12. I'm preparing myself to fight the Lantern Worm.
What is the Lantern Worm?
It's gonna come back and get us all. John Lantern thought he killed it at the River Wear, but my father told me it still lives. We must all be prepared.
The Lantern Worm isn't real, Douglas. Father just told you that to get you out of his hair.
Not true. I saw it slithering out by the beck. Like a giant eel it were. I ran home so fast I thought I would fly.
Sorry, miss. My brother has a vivid imagination.
Children often do at his age.
I'll keep training. You will all thank me when I thrust my sword deep into its fat belly.
Douglas, this lady doesn't want to hear your nonsense.
Do you like living in Bewlay?
Yeah, I do. Are you from the city?
I'm from a long way away.
You must have come on the train. I love watching all the steam puff up into the sky.
Have you been on the train yourself?
No, miss. Our parents don't have the money for train tickets. Father says we have all we need here in Bewlay.
Perhaps this nice lady would like to take you away with her on the train.
No, I need to stay and protect Bewlay from the Lantern Worm.
Who's Mr. Crozier?
He's a blacksmith. His forge is just over there on the other side of the square.
Don't you think 12 years of age is a little young for a real sword?
I'll be a master swordsman by then.
Do you know a man called Leonard Shoulder?
That's a funny name.
Have you heard of Hob's Barrow?
What's that?
A local burial mound.
Our parents don't let us wander far from the village.
What's a burial mound?
Don't you mind about that, Douglas.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, miss.
It's the vicarage. I don't think anyone is home. The door has been boarded up. The building looks like a ruin. I can't take the sign, nor... The sign is in a shabby state. No one here. A local dwelling. I don't think anyone is home. Perhaps this belongs to a merchant. This must belong to someone. I should leave it alone. The bucket has seen better days. The bucket is rusty. The blacksmith is toiling away. Good day.
Yes?
Mr. Crozier, I presume.
Aye, George Crozier, at your service.
My name is Thomasina.
Aye, can I help you?
Are you a Bewlay native, Mr. Crozier?
Aye, born and bred. That's where my father's forge before mine.
How is business faring?
I do an honest trade. There'll always be horses needing shoes and farmers needing tools. You let me know if you need out made or mended. I'll do you a fair price.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier. What can you tell me about Bewlay?
We don't get many visitors here, outside of market days. But there's plenty of work for the village blacksmith. Where are you from, then?
I arrived yesterday on the train from London, by way of Derby.
Oh, aye. I've heard about London.
What have you heard?
Plenty of factories there.
Yes, indeed. The city is always changing and moving forward.
Too busy for me, though, lass. I prefer a quieter pace. Aye.
When do market days run in Bewlay?
Once or twice a month. The next one is tomorrow.
How delightful.
Unless your vice is cabbages, there'll be nought to interest a young lady.
I don't mind a cabbage.
Then you're in luck.
Do you know a man by the name of Leonard Shoulder?
Oh, aye. Old Leonard.
Have you seen him recently?
No, not recently.
Do you know where he lives?
Why all these questions, lass?
I need to speak with him. He invited me to Bewlay.
Oh, he'll turn up. I've seen him in the Plough and Furrow from time to time.
But do you know where he lives? I need to find him.
I believe he lives somewhere out on the moors. Can't tell you out more than that.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier. Do you know of a local landmark named Hob's Barrow?
There's a fair many barrows found out on the moors, lass. Too many to put a name to. Not a soul in Bewlay pays them any mind.
Thanks for your time.
Aye. Speak to you later.
Alas, it is not mine to take. A fantastic specimen. It's Mr. Crozier's forge. The blacksmith is right here. I've no need to go inside.